What's good, YouTube? Listen, somebody asked me how to tell if a guy likes you. I've answered that question in a lot of different ways because there are a lot of different ways it could be asked. Specifically today, we're talking about how to tell if a guy is getting more serious about you, how to tell if a guy is taking you serious or the opportunity at a relationship with you serious. I jump right into it. Put simply, his patience, his endurance. A guy who's taking you seriously is very patient with you. He doesn't just move away from you or create distance when something happens that he doesn't like, or he hears the word no, or you have a misunderstanding. When a guy's taking you seriously, he respects you. And that respect comes with a little bit of leeway, not to do him dirty and not to disrespect him, but to be imperfect. When a man is allowing you to be flawed and not trying to punish you with distance or avoid whatever connection he thought was forming with distance, if he's not trying to restructure the relationship because you had a falling out or a misunderstanding, or again, something was inconvenient for him, then he's probably taking you seriously. Most of the time when a guy doesn't want anything serious, his fuse, his temper, his acceptance of a woman's behavior, the rope he gives her is like this short. He just doesn't have any patience with her. And he might not be angry or upset, but he'll cut a woman off quick. Especially if he doesn't care about what happens with her, if he's not really into her. When the guy's into you, you have a longer rope. And again, that's not to be abused, but he's not looking to get rid of you. He's not looking to dismiss you. He's looking to learn how to work through things, because that is a sign of a healthy relationship. A guy not willing to work through things, a guy not willing to hash things out, is not serious about a relationship. Most people who are take a lot of pride in the ability to work things out with their partner, to communicate issues. It's an opportunity. We all know that the first argument you get into can be a big giant stepping stone, or it can be a big giant cliff. The relationship can either grow from that point, springboard from that point, because you've established some level of trust in each other's ability to work through things and show support and show sacrifice for each other and compromise for each other. Or you can see that neither party is willing, or one of the parties aren't willing to endure anything for the other party, which obviously would lead to a very shitty relationship. So it kills the relationship potential for the person who doesn't feel safe anymore in the relationship. Men who want your love, men who want a relationship, are going to be showing off their ability to endure with you, to go through things with you. Again, not abuse, not neglect, not disrespect, not emasculation, but certain inconveniences that happen when you're getting to know a person and you're not really sure about how to deal with certain things because you're just not that familiar with each other yet. Instead of trying to escape the relationship or put down the opportunity to really grow with each other and learn how to communicate your differences, a guy who just storms off, refuses to talk about something, gives you distance, stop calling you for 2 or 3 days at a time, ignores your text messages, or starts screwing other women, is not serious about you. Too many women I talk to are talking to guys who don't really want anything serious. They have this falling out, and it's like, yeah, I haven't talked to him in 5 days. What should I do? Leave his ass the fuck alone. He don't want nothing serious. If he wanted something serious, he'd be trying to figure out how to fix whatever was going on with you, right? Whether it's your issue or his issue, he'd be trying to come to an understanding. Two people who respect each other are always going to be trying to come to an understanding because they want to be eye to eye. They want to be on the same wavelength, right? They take a lot of pride in being, how people say, here with each other, right? Eye to eye. A man who doesn't want to be there with you, a man who doesn't seek that opportunity to understand each other better, isn't looking forward to a relationship. He's not building long-term skills to nurture a relationship or to keep one. In fact, he's showing you that if anything happens at all that inconveniences him, he'll give you distance or cut you off, right? That's built around giving you anxiety around being more easy to deal with. Does that sound like a guy looking for love? Does that sound like a guy looking for partnership, companionship? Does that sound like a man who has a healthy idea of what a relationship even means? If every time he's upset, he can just abandon you or neglect you? Clearly, if he's doing that when you irritate him, he wouldn't accept the same from you. Be very careful about these men who punish you with distance because they know what they're doing and they're not trying to build long-term relationship skills with you. When a guy really likes you, he can have a disagreement with you and still call you back that night, still text you back that next morning. He can have a disagreement with you, and instead of texting back and forth and, letting it progress into a bunch of disrespectful stuff, he'll say, hey, listen, let's get on the phone. This is more of a phone thing. Or, hey, I should meet you in person. I want to talk about this. I really want to get this solved. I really want to get some understanding. He's looking for the opportunity to grow out of the inconvenient situations, right? To learn each other. right? Learn how to best deal with each other, how to best serve and support one another. That's what he's looking for. When you're dealing with a guy who doesn't know how to handle conflict and therefore doesn't and or creates distance when conflict arises, he's not serious about a relationship. He couldn't be. And if he is serious, he has no idea how to be in a healthy relationship, and he'll bring that toxic shit into your relationship if you were to progress into one. Emotional maturity, conflict resolution, respect, endurance, long-suffering, conflict management, critical thinking, the ability to have difficult conversations. Those are signs that a guy is serious about a relationship when he employs those skills with you. Any guy who ever made you feel like he would be gone the second you became difficult to deal with, or something inconvenient came up, or you did something that he didn't like, he was never interested in a long-term relationship. He was never interested in real love. He was enjoying his time with you. He was having fun, but he was not serious, because relationships aren't perfect. Relationships have issues. People have flaws. So we learn each other's flaws as we get to know each other, as we form our budding relationship. As we get closer, we pick up our skills in dealing with each other's flaws. But that has to be a goal of a man, to learn a woman inside and out, as it should be your goal to learn him. But when a guy acts like, unless you're perfect, you're gone, he doesn't want anything but a servant or an employee. He has a very toxic idea of a relationship, and or he just doesn't want a relationship. And so he wants to keep you on a tight leash to keep things convenient for him. This isn't just a guy thing. Women do this too. When people aren't serious about relationships, they give people a very, very short leash. You have to be absolutely perfect to keep them around. Otherwise, they punish you with distance or abandonment. That way, if you ever get back in their good graces, you're more easy to deal with, and you only do what you're told. This is a form of control building, and it's generally done by a man who doesn't value a relationship or doesn't want a real relationship. When a guy likes you, he doesn't seek to control you, and he doesn't need you to be perfect. Yes, he wants you to work on your flaws and try hard to make sure that you don't disrespect him or step over any barriers that he builds, as he respects yours. At the same time, if something happens, if someone crosses a line, if something inconvenient happens between you, if there's a misunderstanding, he takes a lot of pride and trying to figure that out, to get over that first hump in a relationship. There's a sense of accomplishment when two people who really like each other overcome a disagreement and get out stronger on the other side. They realize maybe we can take on the world together, which is what this whole couple thing, relationship thing, life partner thing is all about. Braving the rough terrain of the world together, traversing the treacherous landscapes of life together. If you can't overcome a simple disagreement with a person, even if they do like you, you should get the hell away from them. So when you see missed opportunities to reconcile, or mend misunderstandings, or make amends, or get back in each other's good graces after some kind of mix-up, and instead you see distance, you're not dealing with a guy who wanted anything in the first place. You'd be better off letting him abandon you. If he can go 5 days without texting you because you said something that he didn't like, let his ass go 5 more days. And we've talked about this before. Most of the time, it's the more narcissistic personalities that really enjoy and take a lot of pride in that discipline. Emotionally healthy partners aren't seeking to punish you for inadvertent missteps. So that guy who's trying to work through that issue with you, that guy who's calling you after the argument, that guy who's coming to see you to make sure everything is okay after you've had a disagreement, whose behavior didn't change, who's consistent through issues, who's not too cool or too preoccupied or too busy to mend a misunderstanding, that guy's serious about you. Now, this isn't to speak to whatever misunderstandings you've had. I just know players and fuckboys are not interested in mending misunderstandings. They keep their women convenient, or they replace them. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KidFig24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.